Mine. Mine. Yep. Mine too. Mine. Oh yeah, don't forget about this one. Mine too. Oh yeah, mine, mine, mine. All mine. These, mine too. How do they look, kids? Well, look at all this stuff that is mine. I'm just going through some of the things I have in the office and props for these videos. But kids, sometimes I think maybe I care a little bit too much about the things that I think are mine. Have you ever had that problem? I remember as a kid, one of the hardest things was my brothers and sisters always wanted to play with my toys, my video game, my stuff. And it would make me so mad and frustrated. Have you ever felt like that? You can raise your hand. I know I felt like that. Well, in today's lesson, Jesus teaches on possessions. How should we view things that are mine or yours? Let's stop and let's think about it. I'm going to be in Luke chapter 12. It tells us that Jesus was teaching and there were thousands of people that were there. And someone stood up and yelled at Jesus and said, "Hey, will you tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me?" Jesus looks at the man and says, "I'm not here to be a judge between you and your brother and the money that you're going to inherit." Jesus said, "Be on guard. Watch out for greed." Now, greed is when we want more and more of something. And it's not healthy, it's not good. We want more and more money, and we'll do anything to get it. We want more and more toys or video games or electronics or clothes. Whatever it is, we want more of it. And we'll get it however we can. And a lot of times with greed, we get upset with what other people have and say, "I want that, I want that." Jesus said, be on guard. Watch out. Don't be greedy. Jesus said the focus of life is not on the possessions that you have. And then Jesus told a few stories to teach the people. He said, imagine that you're a man and you have fields and crops and you have an awesome year. Your crops, they grow and it's harvest time and you have so many crops that you can't fit them in your barn. So the man thinks to himself, I've got all these crops. I'm going to tear down my old barn, build a bigger one, and put all the crops in there, and then I can sit back, eat and drink, and take it easy and live off of all this food and money that I'm going to make. Well, Jesus says it's foolish to be selfish like that and to focus only on your possessions. He says, what would happen if that night that man dies and he appears before God? Is he going to take that money or that food and that wealth with him? No. It's going to be given to someone else. Jesus said we should be generous to others. Yes, we're going to have possessions, we're going to have things, but that's not what our life is about. Jesus also told the people, don't be worried and so concerned about what you eat or about the clothes that you wear. He said, look at the sky and look at the birds. They don't have refrigerators. They don't have barns to store up food, but God feeds them. And Jesus said, think about the clothes that you wear. He says, a king with all of his money isn't as beautiful as the flowers of the field. And think about those flowers. They're here now, and then they'll die later. Jesus will clothe us also and give us what we need. Jesus said, don't focus on the possessions and the things in this world, but focus on God's kingdom, on being generous to others and helping others and serving others. Be concerned about God's kingdom. You see, Jesus said the things of this earth our possessions, our video games, our tablets, our electronics, they wear out. They break down. Someone could steal and take them from us, or we could lose them. And in the end, we're not going to take them with us when we die. And so don't be as concerned about those things, but be concerned about the things that last forever. God's kingdom, God's people, the ways that we serve others and we serve God, those are things that can last forever. So live for the things that last forever, and not just for the things that last for a little while. Jesus finishes with these words. This is in Luke 12, verse 34. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And what Jesus said, where your treasure is, the thing that you care about the most, you think about the most, you're concerned about the most, that's where your heart is. And he said, be careful. Our treasure shouldn't be in the newest video game or a new phone or new clothes and those things. Those things can be nice, but we shouldn't be so concerned about those that our mind and our heart are wrapped up in those things. Our heart should be wrapped up in God and His love for us and Jesus and the people that God has placed in our life and the chance that we have to show love to others. That's where our heart should be. Now I know that's easy to say, but sometimes it's hard to do. There's times in our lives that we are concerned about the newest video game that's coming out, the newest electronic, the clothes we're going to buy, the possessions of this world. But we need to be on guard, like Jesus said. And so kids, I challenge you this week to be careful and think about when you start to say, mine, 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 too much. Or when you get frustrated because a brother or sister wants to use one of your things. Be generous. Don't worry about it. Those things won't last forever. Well, that's your challenge this week. You can read more about it in Luke chapter 12. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.